For the writing test, you are given 1 hour to complete 2 written tasks. The key difference between the two versions of the test is for task 1. For the general test, you are required to write a letter, whereas for the academic test, you are required to write a report. Task 2 is essentially the same for both versions of the test, but for any given test day, find something more interesting. Okay. Like by a house on the edge of town. He had found a house for sale, a complete wreck. I called on a banker friend. Do you ever loan money on character? I asked. No. He said we can't afford to. No sale. No, wait a minute. I relied. Here is a hardworking man, a man of character. I can vouch for that. He's got a good job. You're not getting a damn thing from your lot. He will stay there for years. At least he will pay you interest. Reluctantly, the banker wrote the mortgage for $2,000 and gave Tony the house with no down payment. Tony was thrilled. From then on, any discarded odds and ends around our place, a broken screen. From then on, any discarded odds and ends around our place, a broken screen, a bit of hardware was from packing. Tony would gather and take home. After about 2 years, I found Tony in our familiar meeting spot. He seemed to stand a little straighter. He was heavier. He had a look of confidence. Mr. Crow, I sell my house. He said with pride, I got 8,000 million. I was amazed. But Tony, how are you going to live without a house? Mr. Crow, I buy a farm. We sat down and talked. Tony told me that to own a farm was his dream. He loved the tomatoes and peppers and all the other vegetables important to his Italian diet. He had sent for his wife and son and daughter back in Italy. He had hunted around the edge of town until he found a small abandoned piece of property with a house and shed. Now he was moving his family to his farm. Sometime later, Tony arrived on a Sunday afternoon, neatly dressed. He had another Italian man with him. He told me that he had persuaded his childhood friend to move to America. Tony was sponsoring him with a twinkle in his eye. He told me that when they approached the little farm he now operated, his friend stood in amazement and said, "Tony, you are a millionaire." Then during the war, a message came from my company. Tony had passed away. I asked our people to check on his family and see that everything was properly handled. They found the farm green with vegetables, the little house livable and homey. There was a tractor and a good car in the yard. The children were educated and working, and Tony didn't own one red cent. After he passed away, I thought more and more about Tony's career. He grew in stature in my mind. In the end, I think he stood as tall and as proud as the greatest American industrialist. They had all reached their success by the same road and by the same values and principles: vision, perseverance, determination, self-control, optimism, self-respect, and above all, integrity. Tony did not begin on the bottom rung of the ladder. He began in the basement. Tony's affairs were tiny. The great industrialist affairs were giant, but the balance sheets were exactly the same. The only difference was where you put down decimal points. Tony Chiviano came to America seeking the American dream, but he didn't find it. He created it for himself. All he had was 24 precious hours a day, and he wasted none of them. The Great Deal. Comedy is acting out optimism. Is it long? My parents, God bless them, lived through the Caucasus as children. After coming to America in 1947, my father labored a sweatshop so that they could start a fruit and vegetable stand. Their childhood experience did not include cooking lessons, so my parents only learned to cook as adults in America. My father's single culinary accomplishment was making hard-boiled eggs, and even those he usually mistimed. My mother easily outdistanced my father. She could, when pressed, cook 7 different meals, but in reality, there were only 2. She made well spaghetti and meatballs, thanks to the patient Indian grandmothers in our neighborhood, and a great pot of chicken soup. As she had access to all the vegetables in what was now our store, she would toss unusual ones such as turnips and parsley root into the mix. But what distinguished Mom's chicken soup from any other I ever tasted was one special ingredient: fresh dill. Mom always made her chicken soup at the right time. Rarely did she made it for someone already sick, yet she knew instinctively when you needed some as preventive medicine. Somehow, she also knew when hard times were coming, when a slew of salesmen would arrive, all demanding payment. There was a soothing pot of chicken soup. Let the refrigerator break down. The taxman called. The employees leave without notice. We had chicken soup with Fradel and we would be okay. Many years later, my parents' store on Long Island burned to the ground. They had no choice but to give up the retail trade and concentrate on building their fledgling wholesale produce business in New York City. They did so with their customary passion and in a few years were doing pretty well. They specialized in carrying unusual and gourmet items, including radio. One winter, primarily for their health, they took a vacation. My brother and I flew into New York to help run the business while they were gone. It just so happened that in a second week, a freeze struck the South and virtually the entire fresh dill crop was wiped out. Demand for dill was enormous. You could practically hear the screams of distraught mothers from 100 miles away. Serendipitously, my brother and I had connections. We had lived in California and we knew a few dill growers there. In a matter of hours, we had arranged a stream of air shipments of dill to New York. We had the only deal in town, and although the supplies were still small, we made thousands upon thousands in profits from deal. When my parents returned from vacation, tanned and delighted to have made some of the nastiest weather New York and had seen in decades, they were especially happy to hear the story of wet deal. A few winters later, my brother and I had a business that was getting into real trouble. We became very worried, forgetting that business has its vicissitudes. The one big fancy word my dad knew and consequently used often, and that business isn't the only thing in life. One afternoon when we were feeling especially downtrodden, a package from our folks arrived, sent from their new home in Dominican Republic. There was no letter, only a beautiful custom-made wood plaque with a hand-carved message. No big deal, and you know what? After that, it really wasn't. Learning and doing, achieve, brain, clever, concentrate, consider, course, degree, experience, expert, fair, guess, hesitate, instruction, make progress, measure, mark, mental, pass, qualification, remind, report, revise, search, skill, smart, subject, take an exam, talented, term, wonder. Phrase the word cross out, brought alive to something written. Look up, try to find some information in a book. Point out, tell somebody important information. Read out, say something out loud which you are reading. Rip up, tear into pieces. Rub out, remove with a rubber. Turn over, turn something so the other side is towards you. Write information on a piece of paper by heart, for instance. In conclusion, in fact, in favor of, in general. Begin, began, beginner, beginning, brave, bravery. Correct, correction, incorrect, divine, division. Educate, education. Instruct, instruction, instructor. Memory, memorize, memorial. Refer, reference, silent, silence, silently, simple, simplify, simplicity, capable of talented and cheated and cheat and confuse something with, continue with, cope with, help somebody with, know about, learn about, succeed in an opinion about, a question about. Complete using the correct form and phrase in the boxes. I hope I will pass. Peter wouldn't answer any questions, so he thinks he has failed. Our teacher said that with all the law this year, we achieved. The career experience instruction I let you read off on the kitchen table. Make sure you follow them. Instruction. Be prepared with an amazing instructor, right? Two. Expert, right? Expert. Got her degree. Course qualification skill. Being able to use a computer is very useful skill. I'm thinking of going on a computer course. You can only apply for this job if you got a qualification. Make progress. Make sure you take an exam. Is near and about to go to inside me. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Separate. Students were talking and laughing, but then concentrate. Good. Aromatic. Mental. Got a 1920 mark. I will have to switch. written over, and she read the instruction to make sure we all understood. We had to write 3 essays in 2 hours. We weren't allowed to look up any words in the dictionary, and we had to write in pen. That meant we couldn't rub anything out. If we made a mistake, we had to cross it, and nearly I just rip up the whole piece of paper and start again. So I read through 3 pages very carefully and thought about what I was going to write. I just written my name down at the top of the first piece of paper and was about to start writing the first essay when Mrs. Jennings pointed out that there were only 5 minutes left. Oh dear. It was in bold, as in wrong sentence for the correct word. We learned that poem by construction. Wrong sentence. By heart. Are you in favor of, right? In favor of. I thought the exam would be difficult, but in fact, many people, for instance, calculation in general. Complete by changing the font the word in capitals. Do you think you get a good education at the school? I'm not an expert. I'm only a beginner. Police are going to give Chancy an award for bravery. I'm writing in 2000. advancement for guitar. In reference. I want at all times doing I'm afraid that answer is incorrect. I don't understand. Divide. Division. Look, 12 divided by 4 is 3. It's easy. Division. 3. Division. This is really difficult to understand. Why don't we simplify? It does have to. Memorize. What in a gap? Let's see each step to do. We are learning about dinosaurs at the moment in school. What's the opinion about? I think you were confused actually. Yes. I hope that I see that you ask me a question about because I haven't read it. I can go with all this homework I'm going to do. This is my time. Interaction with us. A list stuff. Okay, a list stuff. Experience. Experience. Okay. Meeting. Experience. vacation. Yes. Issue. Wonder. Turn behind. Straight. Talented. Level. Guest considered. Report. One over education beginner library reference silence instructor incorrect division simple in tick in the exam. Continue with anything, nothing about